Hey guys, Rolliat or Taylor here, and today I'm back with another Division video. It's Thursday, so that means it's time for a State of the Game recap. Now we have a lot to go through, so I'm just going to dive straight into it. First up, update 1.8.3 was released today, and of course that includes changes to the striker gear set, as well as changes to the showstopper, and a fix for the running in place bug. There is a lot more within update 1.8.3, and I will leave a link to the patch notes in the description. Now regarding the changes to the classified striker gear set, they are going to be monitoring this and seeing how the meta plays out, so who knows, we might have some further tweaks down the line. Now as you know, the new shield that revolved all around the survival DLC was released last week, and along with that there was a lot of problems with the survival DLC, and they've actually extended the free period for survival, and survival will continue to be free for everyone until Monday. So if you're having a lot of connectivity issues and gave up in the end, it might be worth trying again, because it seems like they've definitely ironed it all out, and like I said, it's still free and it will be free until Monday, so you have all weekend to jump in and give survival another bash, and I'd highly recommend you do just that. And with survival ending on Monday, strike will begin, not exactly at the same time, but global event strike will be starting on Monday the 27th, and that will be running for a week. This is the one with loads of explosions, and if you haven't got your pred mark build yet, now is the time to complete it. So from Monday the 27th of August, global event strike will be active. Right, now a bit of clarification on some of the pre-order bonuses, starting with the Dark Zone edition of the game. So there's actually two Dark Zone editions, one for the US and the other is for the EU and the Middle East Asia. The one for the EU and East Asia, this one doesn't actually include the Year 1 pass, whereas the version for America does include the Year 1 pass. They didn't say why this is, but they just said there's two different versions, and one's for the EU and Middle East Asia and the other one's for America. So like I said in my previous video, when you are looking to pre-order the game, and especially the Dark Zone editions, make sure you're looking at the correct edition. You won't be able to buy the American one if you are based in the EU and vice versa, so there shouldn't be too much of a problem, but if you are looking for the Year 1 pass, just make sure you're buying the correct version that contains it. Now sticking with pre-orders and pre-order bonuses, there's a lot of talk going on in the community at the moment that is all about the additional stash space. Now this is part of a few versions of the game, but they're not really ready to speak about numbers and how much extra stash space you will get, but they are going to make sure that the base stash amount is more than enough for every player. They want to make sure that everyone that does play the game, whether they've ordered the most expensive version or just the base game, they want to make sure that the stash space is a nice comfortable amount. The extra is, I guess, just for the really dedicated players and the ones that want to collect everything and anything. And like I said, they're not ready to go into numbers on how much extra it is or how much of the current base stash size is. And at this moment in time, they're not planning on selling stash space as a microtransaction. Now, I understand that that was a lot to take in. If you have any questions, then be sure to leave them in the comments and I'll do my very best to get back to you regarding it. Sticking with pre-order bonuses, the unique skill effect that we saw on some of the bonuses, this is a visual customization of a skill. This isn't going to affect the power, or this isn't a unique skill that only players that pre-ordered the game will get to use. So thinking of it as a skin or something similar, it's not going to affect the skill apart from visual. As well as that, the additional activities that were mentioned in the Year 1 pass, these still haven't been revealed yet and they're still not ready to talk about them. Now a quick bit on the exotic weapons that you can get from certain editions for pre-ordering. The exotic Lullaby and the exotic AK-47 called the Ruthless, you're going to get low level versions of these at the start of the game, but you'll also be able to craft higher leveled versions of these during the end game. Now although these weapons are exclusive to pre-order bonuses, there are going to be very similar ones in the end game that everyone can get. The stats and talents will be exactly the same. The only difference will be visual. You'll have to use these to then craft your pre-order bonus weapons at a higher level with your blueprint in the end game. Now again, I hope that made sense. If you do have any questions, then please reach out to me. Now a little bit on the early access periods for the Division 2. Now the early access periods are being looked at, so they do play out fairly for all players. This is being done mainly for people that want to get their hands on the story and learn more about the narrative of the Division 2, but they do hear your concerns and they're looking at ways to do this fairly. Yannick also mentioned that the raids will be released at the same time for everyone, whether you have an early access pass or not. Raids will not be affected by any early access periods. Now finally, the betas. I know this has been a really long State of the Game recap, a lot longer than I initially thought it would be. But the private beta is for the pre-orders, or the players that pre-order the game, and the closed beta is for the players that have signed up via the website. Now from what I understand, people that do pre-order the game will have access to both the private beta and the closed beta. Right, I think that's about it for this week's State of the Game recap. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful in any way whatsoever, then please let me know by either leaving a comment or by clicking that like button. And if you're new around here and want to stay up to date with all of the things The Division, then please make sure to subscribe. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.